Hey my loves, welcome back. I just wanted to make a start on packing out this journal. I've been itching to get my paws on these mini envelopes because they're just so pretty. I've printed everything out. What have I got? So I've got my page with my stamps, tickets, little word strip, a couple of postcards, the slightly larger envelopes and some more tickets, and the little envelopes with the belly band and more tickets. And then there's one more. Where's it gone? Oh, here we go. One larger envelope that I'll tuck in as well. So I've printed all those lot off. I've also printed some backing papers. I've just put these up into the membership. Guys, they are so pretty. I'm getting better at doing plain papers, aren't I? Honestly, these are kind of coming together. So there's a few, the same pattern, but there's some different color variations of this. So I'm going to use these to back some of this. My first step is obviously I've got a lot of cutting out to do. So I'm going to go and do that. You don't need to see me cut on camera. I won't put you through that. I'm going to go and sit in front of the telly and do some kind of meditation while I'm just doing some snipping. So I'll be back with all these cut out, and then we can start popping everything in the journal and building it up. Alrighty, I'll see you soon. Hello. So I'm back, and I just wanted to talk you through where I was up to. I've got everything cut out, inked. I've got a whole lot of stuff backed. So I've got all my little stamps are all cut out. I didn't back those. These are pretty much all going to be stuck on things, so they don't need to be backed. I'm not going to ink them either because I've already got sort of the, what do you call it, the perforated look to them. So not actually perforated, but they kind of look perforated because of the way I've done the edges. So if I ink those, you're kind of going to lose those perforations. So I'm not going to ink those. I did cut out all the little words and I inked around the edges of those. Again, these are going to be stuck on, so I didn't worry about backing them. I did go through all the little, cut out all the little price sticker guys. And I have backed those just with craft paper. Gives them a bit of rigidity. So if I want to pop them into things, I can. But also if I do decide to stick them down, it just sort of gives them, kind of raises them up just that fraction. Gives them that little bit of extra thickness, which is good sort of textural wise. So that's all my little tags. It all just looks, I was just looking at it before I turned the camera on, and it just all looks so pretty once it's all cut out and it's not just on that clinical white paper. It starts to sort of turn to sort of more obvious kind of things, if that makes sense. Yeah, I just like how it's all coming together. It's coming together really nicely. So I've got two little postcards. I backed those with mulberry paper and inked the edges. This one is the big envelope. I didn't glue it. I wanted to show you kind of how to use the liner. So the liner, effectively, you've got this piece cut out, the liner cut out, and then you stick the liner to the inside so that when I close this up, it's all beautifully lined. So there's no white visible, which is what you want. So that's that one. I might go ahead and glue down the sides to glue that one together. I'm actually thinking I might put something like that on it. Might look good. These also fit, the postcards fit inside that one. So that's all that done. I have gone through and cut out all my little envelopes and inked the outside. I did want to show you the lining process, how I do that, because I do want to line these. If I have them here, I've got the belly band, they're all cut out. And I sort of was starting to play around with how I want them to go. But you're going to see a whole lot of white, and it's just for something vintage. It's not great to see that much white paper. So I am I thought I might be able to get away with it, but then my perfectionist streak popped in and said hello and said, no, Julia, you've got to line those. So I'm going to line them. I'm going to line them with this paper here. What I'm going to do is with this envelope, I'll show you one, then I'll do the rest off camera. I'm just going to fold back, work out which is the top flap. So with this one, that's the top flap coming down. So I want to line the back of here and the back of here. So I'm going to fold all that up. And then I've got a pen handy somewhere. Would be good. There we go. Just going to put that in the corner and just draw a pen line around it to show where I need to cut. And I'm just going to cut that out. I'm going to go on the inside of that pen line just because I know I'm going to need something that's sort of a little bit shorter. To make sure that it fits in and doesn't overhang. So I'm just going to cut this out. Follows that line, and I'm going to take this white off because I didn't include that. Okay, so that's my liner cut. I'm going to put here's my envelope. So that's going to go on top of that there, like so. And I may need to turn it, and you can see a little bit of white here. I'm going to need to trim those off. So let's get that in. Okay, so that's that. And I'm just going to fold it while the glue's still damp, just to make sure that it's all going to fit together still. Now, I've got a bit of an overhang here, so I'm going to very, very carefully cut down here. The last thing I want to do is cut that top paper. So that's going to fold in, that's going to fold in. I'm going to glue that one up there and glue, and that one's going to come down. So you can see I've got some white. That's okay. I can go through. I'm just going to trim that off. Trim that white back so it doesn't show. And any tiny wee little bits of white, I might just ink over them. That one's pretty much done. So there we go, nicely lined. Okay, so I can go ahead and ink that and glue down my flaps now. Close, shut that envelope off. Now I've been a bit excited with the glue, so I'm not going to put the flap down because I don't want it to stick to this little bit of excess glue I've got going. So I'm just going to let that dry, and then we can go from there and ink this, line the rest, and then I'll be back. Hello, so I'm back, and I have gone through, and all of these little envelopes are now lined and inked. And I've just been playing around with placement, so you have to be careful with the placement of the little envelopes on the belly band to make sure that even though you've overlapped them, they can still all open. So the ones where I'm doing them face down, I have to make sure that the little flaps will open, and the ones that I'm attaching via the flap, I have to make sure that they can open that way. So it's all a bit of a test as you go. So I think I've got an arrangement here that is going to work. I've kind of just spent a bit of time going through it and sort of placing everything to make sure that everything's going to still open and you can still get into everything. So now comes the moment of truth where I'm going to go through and start to glue them down. So I think probably these two, and then I can add that one on top, although do I want to kind of go that way, in which case this one's going to have to go down first, and then that one's going to have to go down on top, and then that one's going to have to go down that way. And then that kind of gives me some angles. I think that's good. Let's do it. Okay, so I'm doing this one down first. Now, lining these up underneath is going to be a bit interesting. I might end up gluing things to the desk by accident, but we shall see how we go. Okay, so that one there, that one that way, that one that way, and then that one kind of flat across the bottom. So glue these, peel them off the desk, and then do the top ones. Okay, so that's all working. That one didn't end up tucked under there like I wanted it, but I think it's going to be right. So these ones, in terms of order, oh, now peel them off the desk, quick, Julia, so they don't stick to the desk. Just rub some of this glue off so nothing sticks on. Okay, yikes. There. Okay, oh, now my envelopes are gone. Okay, so first three on, next three, we want that one there. What I don't want to do is have everything sort of lined up exact. I kind of just want things just a little bit random, but not so random that looks silly. So, okay, so this one on the bottom, let's go for this one. Put on a little bit of a jaunty angle. There we go. That one done. That one there. Okay. Just want to make sure that it's kind of not going to go on the same angle as that. Just so it looks kind of random, but not totally random, but not unbalanced. That's the word I'm looking for. So there we go. So we've got some on big angles, some on little angles. Peel it off the desk again. Make sure that we're not stuck on for good. That would not be so good. All right. So now I have envelopes stuck on my belly band. So that's amazing. Now we can come through and decide what of our extra bits and pieces we want to put on and what we want to put in. So everything is still a little bit not quite dry, so I want to try and slides and things under, I might be able to just pull up and slide under. So I'm thinking just gonna very carefully prise that off a little bit. I'm kind of thinking it would be fun to have a little tag sticking out from under there. There we go. Gosh, just got that done in time. All right. What else can we put in here? Kind of like this one. I might put this one there. And I did have a fraction of black lace lying around here somewhere. I can find that. That might be nice to incorporate. I can always just chop off another piece. Come on. Let's do that. Can't find that original bit. Okay, so a little bit of black lace. Where can we incorporate that? Actually, let's get... What about a bit of lace there with that one on top? I think that looks pretty cool. Pretty smooth. Let's do that. Okay, so we're going there. Actually, if I just put a half decent amount of glue on this, should go through the lace and stick the whole lot down. What do you think, internet peeps? Do you think that's going to work? Let's have a go. Okay. Going that way. That way. Big squish. Lots of pressure. Get that glue going through that lace. There we go. Look at that. Just like I bought one. Okay. Alrighty. I think I want to put one more of this on somewhere. Or maybe I want to put a word on. What do you think? Kind of want something going. Which way have I got? Got lots of things going this way. I want to kind of break it up. Do I want to put something? I can't tuck that under there because that's got a lift. But I could put that there. And then that kind of balances this one here. Kind of balances this one here. I think it's a go. Let's have a go. Yep, so that's still going to open. And that gives some visual interest up here. We probably need something in here somewhere. Maybe down here. What can we put down here that's going to be visually interesting? Okay. Kind of like the idea of something hanging out. I'm not sure about that one. Maybe we want this one. Just to bring a bit more of that light green into it. Yep, I'm liking that. That gives us some interest. I'm actually thinking another little bit of lace. It's not going to work under there though, I don't think. Unless you go on top with that one, then that covers up our nice little people. Go on top the other side. Yep, I think I like on top the other side. I think I like there. Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. No going back now. Okay. Done. Cool. Okay, so that's added some lace. We've got a bit of visual interest happening. I'm happy with that. We can stick some stuff in. Some of these are going to be too big. think I've actually used most of the little ones. Everything's still open. I do have with the ephemera that goes with the hidden tag, there's a lot of small pieces, so I might wait until I've printed out that kit, and then once I've printed out that kit, I'll get a whole lot more little pieces that I can then use to add to here. This is enough, like this is more than enough, but I'm just thinking if we just want to go ham, we've got some more options. So I could add a stamp. What about a stamp? I haven't got a stamp on any of these. What about a stamp here? Too much? Never enough? Also probably. No, it's going to overlap the edge. So I'm not thinking that's not going to work for that. But I am thinking on these postcards, a little stamp might work. So what about this little lady? Okay, let's put this aside. Let's let that dry. I'm going to let that dry. Once it's dry, I'm going to stick it in my journal, which I'll show you. I've got a few other bits and pieces I can stick in my journal because we've got, this is a belly band. So we can put stuff underneath this as well, which is what I was going to do with the envelope. Put the envelope underneath and maybe a journal card or two just to kind of give it some depth. Oh, that's right. We can glue this one now, can't we? Let's glue this one, hey? All right, where am I going? Okay, that's what we were going to do before I got distracted. Okay, and then what did we say? That one there? Yeah, that looks good. All right, let's go for it, hey? Okay. Let that dry. That looks cool. That's our envelope, that's our belly band. We were going to add a stamp to one of these or maybe two of these. I like to just kind of randomly throw the stamps through the journal. Just they add just a little bit of visual interest to it. I like how they look. All right, that's got a stamp. Do you want a stamp on this one? Yeah, let's put a stamp on this one too. Which one? And I'm upside down. Oh, I know. Glad I noticed that. All right. That one kind of has a bit of a stamp on it already, built in. I think I'll leave it actually. So I've still got lots of little bits and pieces of joy over here that I can sprinkle through my journal. I've got my belly band done. I've got my envelope done. A couple of cards to go in the envelope. We can pop those in now. I'm going to go grab the journal and we'll put the belly band in and then we'll be done. So I've grabbed my journal. Let's get this belly band in, hey? Whereabouts? So this is the big question. So I kind of want a plainish page. That's a possibility. My concern is it's already got something quite heavy on the other side. And the belly band is quite loose and chunky. It looks nice against that paper, mind you, but I think it's just, given I've already got something heavy, maybe the other side of that would work. stability, way too thin. I've got something there. That would work. Here's what I was thinking. I like how that looks. That looks lovely. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and glue this in here. Get it nice and parallel. Lots of pressure on that. So pretty. Hey, look at that. I'm really happy with how that's turned out. So all my little envelopes will open. They've all got space. Some are flipping up. Some are down the other way. Got lots of visual interest in that. I'm happy with that. So that's that done as one little project, which is good. We'll make sure that the glue doesn't sink through this paper and end up on here. And I might stick something fairly rigid but across the whole thing, because that is quite a lot on that paper. It looks good though, but it is quite a lot on that paper. And then we've got our envelope to slide under it. So pretty. Alrighty folks, thank you so much for watching. The kit for this one is part of our membership. It is listed in Ko-Fi now. The lining papers I've put up today, I think I mentioned, so they're available too, ready to go. Thanks for watching. Please do give this video a big thumbs up if you liked it, and do subscribe if you'd like to see what I get up to next with this journal. Thank you. Bye.